Okay, hello students. Today we're going to be talking about graphing stories, and specifically we're going to be talking about graphs of distance versus time. Here is a graph just representing quickly different lines that you would see when you look at a graph with distance over a certain period of time. Okay, we have straight lines, we have horizontal lines, we have curved lines. Okay, so if you look, this is a good resource. So it tells you the different explanations of each type of line. Okay, here's the horizontal line. Stationary means staying still. And one of the other misconceptions is that a line going up and down does not indicate height. So it's not as if we're traveling up a hill or down a hill. We could be, but we are talking about the distance traveled. Okay, so here I have returning to start because here is our starting point at 0, 0 on the graph, and right here is 0, 0 again. So in this particular graph, this downward line indicates returning to the starting point. So if I take a look, here is an example. Quickly, I have a balloon and I'm placing it on the distance time graph. Okay, I'm going to place this balloon that flew up in the air. Okay, it is at 3 hours. So after 3 hours, that balloon is now at a distance of 4 miles from where it started. Okay, it's maybe I'm saying it started at the ground. So it started at 0, 0. Okay, let me just move our balloon. The balloon, I'm going to say, started at 0, 0, and now is traveling. And it gets, after 3 hours, it gets to 4 miles distance from the starting point. Okay, so distance versus time is movement or traveling over a specific amount of time. And here we have just a line showing a constant speed, a constant rate. Okay, we could just be walking or driving a car. All right, so here we have different explanations for different lines that you would see on a graph. Here I'm traveling at a constant rate. This is a good reference as you interpret a graph in the assignment, or you are making a graph or making your own story for a given graph. So here I have movement at a constant rate, just a straight line. Here I have movement at a constant rate, but then if you notice the thicker line, that represents I'm moving faster. A steeper line compared to another line means we're changing our speed. Okay, a steeper line means faster. Here I have the horizontal line, which means my distance is staying the same, but time is going by. A downward line, a downward slope, downward line means I'm heading back to where I started from. I am now decreasing my distance from the starting point. And then a vertical line is impossible in a distance time graph. Okay, let's say it's 1 o'clock. Here the time is 1 o'clock. And this red dot represents a store. Let's say it's Foot Locker. So this red dot represents Foot Locker. And this red dot is going to represent Taco Bell. And it's 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, I think it said. It's 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I cannot be at Foot Locker and Taco Bell at the same time. I can't be at Foot Locker and Taco Bell at exactly 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So that never makes sense. So if you see it, it doesn't make sense. Don't make a vertical line in a story graph. Okay, that's an error. And if you see a curved line like this, the movement is slowing down. So for instance, this is slowing down, but if you see a curved line going in the other direction, that would mean it's speeding up. So for instance, if I have a curved line going this way, that would mean it's speeding up. Okay, so here's my graph, and I gave it a title of Traveling to Grandma's House. So it's a graph with different lines. And remember, go back in the video and you can be able to use those explanations I gave before to determine what's going on. Okay, so we have straight lines, horizontal lines. Some lines are steeper than others. Okay, let's look at the story, and I put in some clip art. If you make a story for your assignment, you could add some clip art. So here, Tiffany is going to her grandma's house. So here's our story, and for each part of the story where I want to indicate something on the graph, I have color-coded it. So Tiffany needs to buy a gift and visit her grandma for her birthday. She left home and walked slowly. She walked slowly for 2 hours. So if I look at the red line, she walks slowly. Oh, sorry about that. She walks slowly and then she speeded up. Her walk speeded up. Okay, that's what I described in the story. Okay, she's walking for 2 hours. Here's 2 hours. And then she speeds up and she gets to the store and she arrived at the store at 1 o'clock. Okay, that's what I put in the story. Now she is in the store, so she's not traveling any distance further away from home. She's at the same distance from her house in the store. Now, the next thing in red here I have, she is going to start walking to grandma's house, but she has to go back to the store because she got hungry. Okay, in the story it says she got hungry, so she turned around and went back to the store. That downward line, that downward slope line means we're turning around and going back to where we started from. So in this case, she started at the store and she went back to the store to get a snack. She had a piece of pizza. So that's what this horizontal line means. She is stopped in distance, but time is ticking by. Now she decides to get on a bus to get to grandma's house, and the line is steeper than as if she walked. Okay, so if you look over here, she's walking a little faster, but if she takes the bus, it should be a steeper line because buses are faster than walking, hopefully. Okay, here she is at grandma's house now. Okay, horizontal line represents I'm staying in the same place. Okay, what happened to my arrow? There we go. Okay, now she's at grandma's house for a little while, and then she decides, hey, her and her cousins are going to hop on a bus and head back to her house to watch TV. So we have our steeper line again. She's taking the bus, traveling all the way back to 0, 0, the starting point where her house is. Now the bus is not going down a hill unless I say it's going down a hill. But even if it is, it doesn't matter here. I'm talking about distance. Okay, so it's going back to the starting point. I'm starting here at 7 miles from my house or from Tiffany's house, starting at 7 miles from the house. And then I'm going all the way down. Oh my goodness. I'm going back down to 0, 0. So it takes her 10 hours for the entire event. All right, so that was a little lengthy, but you could go back, read the story, and look at the corresponding lines for the graph. Now, in the assignment, you're going to have to answer some questions. Okay, there are 4 questions in the assignment that you have to answer. Okay, this is very important. As you do the assignment, make sure you open the assignment in Google Slides. Once you get to your slide of traveling to grandma's house, okay, you're going to see the questions at the bottom of the slide in the comments portion of the Google slide. So here are the questions. Okay, now if you want to answer, you have to answer them for the assignment. You can make more space by moving this little slide bar. Once you hover over that, you'll see a little hand and you can slide that hand up to make more space to write your answers. Okay. The next part of the assignment is to write your own story with the graph shown. So remember, we have a line traveling at a constant rate. Downward lines means I'm heading back to my original starting point. And straight horizontal lines means I am not traveling any distance. I am staying still. Okay, could be eating lunch, could be taking pictures, etc. Okay, all right, that's it. All right, so in the assignment, don't forget that you're going to have to answer some questions. You're going to have to make your own story, and you're also going to be making your own graph. Okay, so once again, make sure you watch this video. If you need to come back, use the different slides for reference. Okay, this was a good reference. Okay, go back. All right, so enjoy the rest of your day. And if you need any help with the assignment, you could just email me or make a comment in the assignment comments. All right, take care. Until next time. Don't forget, wear a mask, wash your hands, don't touch your face. Be safe.